Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Hyde. Today I'm going to be doing a review of a video from Locke the Bounty Hunter, and I saw this video and the sense of entitlement that some of these women have and their idea that they have this knowledge of what men think is and are so narcissistic in itself, and they accuse men of the very things that they themselves are guilty of, and it's so ironic. I just had to laugh when I saw this video today, and I couldn't help it. And so without further ado, let me go on and get to the introduction, and we'll get right back to it.
With you?
Mm-hmm.
Jump.
No, with me, look.
Yeah, no, like, jump. In the water. Like,
Are you serious?
yeah. Like, quite literally gonna have to launch myself.
I literally just got my stomach. Are you?
Yeah. I'm jumping.
Cut the camera, that's ridiculous.
For crying out loud, woman, you can't be surprised if a man doesn't want to talk to you when you dress like you're ready to do a little hustling in the form of walking on some particular streets. A majority of self-respecting men want the complete opposite of what you're proposing. And that's because when you dress like that, it's not for the man, it's for men. Multiple Y chromosome possessors who will give you some form of attention that your dopamine-addled brain interprets as validation. But you're so far down that particular rabbit hole of filth and depravity that there's no hope for you at all. No wonder that guy wants to jump off the bridge into the water. I'm watching you through the safety of the internet, and you still make me unclean enough to need to take a shower. See you later!
You got the not feeling the chemistry text again. Well, here's why. Feminism has completely destroyed the confidence of men. You're afraid to even lean into your jokes, or even make them to begin with, because you're afraid of offending a woman. You're completely unwilling to acknowledge her.
On the contrary, Sherry, men are not afraid of women, and they're not afraid of their masculinity. They are not afraid of feminism. The only thing they're afraid of is going to jail for looking at you wrong and ending up doing time and having their life and their careers ruined over giving you a cross stare that you might not have liked if you didn't find them attractive enough.
You're completely unwilling to acknowledge her appearance or physically touch her because you're afraid of being creepy. And you're afraid of revealing interesting things about yourself because you think you're weird and have nothing to offer compared to that 1% man. In short, you're a nice guy, and nice guys don't stimulate women.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, lady. That particular ideology hasn't really destroyed the confidence in men so much as it's hyperinflated the egos of modern women and made them think of themselves as literal goddesses who can do no wrong. Talking to a broad like that isn't like walking on eggshells. It's like walking through a minefield in the middle of an artillery barrage while the bear cavalry charges forward with their guns ablazing. It takes a certain level of moron to think that that's a smart idea under any circumstances. Now, you don't need to tell us what stimulates a woman. We already know. Regardless of whatever drivel you're about to say, we see it through their actions. And it's the 1% man who tickles your fancy, not an average guy.
So what's the solution? Simple. Start acting like a man.
I found that truly hilarious, since you don't even know how to act like a woman, but you're telling a man how to act like a man. How do you know how a man should act? How do you know what a man feels or what a man thinks inside? You don't know any of this. You're just blabbing because you think you're the newest dating coach.
1% that man energy is nothing more than making that woman you're with feel like a woman. Take it from me, women know what men are like. So when you're holding back and acting timid, we instantly lose attraction. Do you really think that we put on our best outfit, a full face of makeup, and cute heels just so that you won't notice? We're trying to impress you, and the men that understand that are the ones that throw timidness out the window.
Wrong! Okay, I will give you some credit. That advice is solid and would have worked if this was, say, 50 years ago. But there's a fine line between an average man showing assertiveness and confidence and the kind of man that modern broads truly desire. Now, let's say you have two men, an average dude and Emperor Tyronius Chadicus Raeralius. Both of them are confident men who are assertive and are quite masculine. Now, they both talk to a broad for 15 minutes. Now, let's say the average man is funny and down to earth, but his eminence is, well, he's an emperor. Which one do you think modern women are going to want to actively pursue? Now, best case scenario, the average man will get put into the friend zone for future use. Worst case scenario, she will find some absurd excuse to feel unsafe around him and label him a creep. And that label runs the legitimate risk of that particular man having his life ruined professionally, personally, and legally. It's not something we're afraid of for no reason. So with both outcomes being different levels of crappy, the question remains, why bother?
They have the courage to establish physical touch. They're not afraid to say risky things. They aren't afraid to connect with a woman. So stop being scared, stop being timid. Embrace your masculinity and go put it on full display for a lucky lady.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Now, what Locke's about to say right here is absolutely 100% true. I really can't understand how these women actually believe everything they think is true, that they know so much about men. There was no training class on men in school, and feminism does not teach you how to deal with men. It teaches you how to be a narcissist, and that's the truth of the matter. It doesn't make me a misogynist for recognizing that feminism has destroyed modern womanhood and the family life and the nuclear family.
When a man embraces his masculinity, trust me, sister, he's not doing it to woo a modern woman. Once a man gains his self-respect, he starts the arduous journey of becoming the best version of himself possible, and that's no easy feat. It takes self-reflection, discipline, and a certain level of fearlessness. And if a man is going to go through all of that work, do you honestly think he's going to make the attempt to try to impress an open-air bazaar of off-brand discounted broads? Now, I do agree, more men need to embrace their masculinity, but not to embrace some random shrew. They should do it for themselves because we have value. And at the same time, women need to ditch their masculinity, embrace their femininity, and accept the harsh truth that 95% of men out there aren't creepy felons and are perfectly fine. But let's be honest, there's a better chance of a Firefly reboot than that actually happening. Oh, please, intergalactic space god Noble Char, all hail, don't let that happen.
You know, something about that is just downright unsettling.
As a late 20s, going into my 30s, single girly, I'm struggling. I am battling between, yes, girl, you're so super independent. Like, go off. Yeah, have your high standards. And then I'm struggling between, like, I need a man. I need a man. Not just any man. A good man. How are you gonna go do that? Go put yourself out there. But how does one do that? Because dating apps ain't it. They ain't it. And whenever a man flirts with me, I pull this. They say they flirt, and I'm like, Anyway, yeah, so I just...
No, it's simple!
I guess you would say right here that this is another moment when men are supposed to be able to read their minds and decide that if she likes them or not, and we're just supposed to guess it, especially in the modern times when men look at a girl crossways and they end up, you know, having their life destroyed, you know, as I said earlier, and it's absolutely insanity. Really, it is. It just, you know, try to be normal, you know.
I don't know, but it's getting really hot out here in Arizona, and people are by the pool, couples are by the pool, and they're like flirting and hanging all over each other, and it's kind of hot. And I just think back to that feeling, and that feeling is kind of unmatched. I'm not gonna lie. When you have a good connection and you're like, oh yeah, water, pool, hot, sun, tan, abs. Like, what the?
You have had the frontal lobe of your brain removed and replaced with bubble wrap.
Hey, lady, are you okay? Are you having a stroke right now? Because it looks like you can't seem to comprehend your surroundings. The reason why you feel the way you do is because deep down on a subconscious level, you know that you should have bonded with a man over a decade ago. So whenever you see a young couple flirtatiously having some fun by the pool, you're simultaneously jealous of them and insecure with yourself. But instead of taking some accountability and just accepting that you done screwed up, you're just living your life in a perpetual fog. Now, lowering your standards isn't really going to help you anymore. You can't respect those kinds of men. And the top tier men with the abs that you crave don't want you either because you've crusted yourself out of that particular dating market. You kind of screwed yourself over, woman. Just not in the way you thought you would back in your 20s.
One night stand is out of the question. I know that, like, that's not how we're supposed to function as a society, but, like, that was so 27 of me. What is the answer here? Does your girl get lower standards? Does she keep them high forever and then just use what's in her nightstand? Or does someone eventually just pop up? You know, like, I'm struggling. This is for all of the single ladies that are struggling between staying strong, being independent, and then also just wanting it. If you're like me, I feel you.
Right. Now I'm going to pre-warn you about this lady. She has to be one of the most narcissistic women I think I've ever heard talking. To her, you know, talking about men damaging her from the time she was a child, even. You know, men who were children too at the same time as her, who were still learning about the world. They were so predominantly evil that they were actually damaging her when she was in kindergarten, according to her. This is one disturbed individual, and I think she should be seeking some kind of help soon, you know.
You know, this is why men want teenage girls. This is why they're so obsessed with, like, body counts and the idea that a woman is ran through. Let me tell you what, it would take a lot more than a bunch of pencils to run through most broads. But what you do run through is our emotions. That is why you need to be concerned with body count. It's because we do get ran through, and we are run through.
Oh, that was the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life. Let's go.
Did I miss something here? What you're talking about is one and the same, you smug bag of salty contempt. Men are concerned with body counts because the more men with which you do the bedroom bounce, the less able you are to emotionally bond with a man, thereby leaving you incapable of loving, trusting, or respecting any man who's willing to take you seriously. And instead of dealing with your issues, you decided to take the low blow route and accuse a majority of men of a despicable crime against humanity that YouTube won't allow us to mention. And for the record, Toots, we didn't run through your emotions. I don't see how we could be at fault for that when your certain brand of begrudgingly salty judgment has been ignoring our existence for the last decade. But I guess you're just not emotionally mature enough to accept such obvious truths, now are you?
You beat us down. You beat us down. And it has nothing to do with the physical that you love to focus on. That is the least of your worries. We give birth. But the reason why you guys want these unsullied preteens is because you know deep down that the more men she is around, the more damaged she will become mentally. And the less likely she will put up with your fucking bullshit. That's all it is. So just be honest.
Oh, come on!
Oh, you jealously bitter bag of bones. We've been telling you this for years. The only difference between us and you is that we don't feel the need to accuse you of predatory crimes when we state this fact. Let me pose this question, sweetheart. What exactly is the alternative? Except you and your baggage? What does that benefit our lives? You're not friendly, you're not caring, and you are extremely judgmental to a concerning degree. You take and you take and you take to the point where even the mere notion of treating a man with the minimum amount of kindness is enough to send you into a blind fury. You'll treat that man like dirt because deep down, you do not want that man. You want one of your earlier trysts, but because you can't have them, you resort to treating the next man with disrespect and contempt because he's not the man you desire. Face it, woman, you've grown into a bitter, resentful parasite, and you just expect a man to accept that. And to that, we say, no, 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 not this time, no, way, no, way, no, way, no, way.
It's easy to be shameful and shame women for all the men that they've been around. It's hard for you to deal with the fact that the reason why she's angry, the reason why she's done with y'all, and the reason why she doesn't want to put up with your anymore is because of all of your brothers. All of the men who she met before you, starting with her dad and her grandpa and her uncles and the kids in kindergarten. All of them, every single encounter with any of you damaged her.
Life's tough, get a helmet.
So, that's why you want to go find somebody fresh off the vine so you can be the first to damage.
You must seek therapy. That's where I would go with that, but that's my own.
You know, you gotta love a divorced broad who will just accuse all men of being inhuman monsters just so she can refuse any form of accountability for her actions. Because you're wrong, sister. Men seek out young women not to damage them, but quite the opposite. They actually want someone who can bond with them, to take care of them, and potentially carry his child, which are things that you are incapable of doing. Women with substantially low body counts are friendlier, trust easier, and are more fertile than the damaged ones. And if this adult chooses an older man to be her mate, then you're just gonna have to swallow that jealousy and accept the fact that all you have to look forward for the rest of your life is a phone that never rings, a wine glass that will never satisfy, and a massive population of men who will look at you with disgust because, like you said, real men don't want to deal with an aged-out broad who's been run through.
I want you to check something out real quick. Okay, let's suppose you date a new girlfriend. That girlfriend has dated 10 Chads. Those 10 Chads, let's see here, has dated 10 girls. Okay, here's 10 girls. Each one of those girls has dated 10 Chads. See? So by the time you get to Chad, he's got 100. What I mean by 100 is I've spoken to a actual genetic engineer. They said for every person you've ever kissed, you actually pick up some of their RNA, and their RNA stays with you. It never goes away. It always stays in you. So every girl you've kissed, if she dated 10 Chads, there's a good likelihood that you've already picked up 1,000 people's RNA. Okay. So let's just say this is on the light end. What if this girl's dated 50 guys and this girl's dated 75? This girl's dated 100. You could be your new girlfriend. You want to kiss your new girlfriend. She's got 100,000 people or 10,000 people's RNA. How do you think STDs get spread? I'm not, you see, and this is where I knock that that lady's opinion that it's not about low body count isn't just a preference. It's also a safety concern, you see, because not only do you run the risk of having a new girlfriend that's got 10,000 guys, RNA in them, 10,000 people, because every girl kisses a guy, guy kisses a girl, girl kisses another guy, and so on and so forth. That's how STDs, so you run the risk of getting not only STDs, but all that RNA. So you realize that is a danger. So it's not just about finding someone who's not damaged, and that lady is obviously very damaged. She, because I didn't know any kindergartners who were running around trying to damage young girls. In the kindergarten, we didn't even know what a girl was. We didn't know the difference. So I don't know where she's learned all this, but a lot of that is learned from feminist speakers or material, literature, whatever. It's a lot of it's baloney. Okay, men don't seek out women to sully them. We seek out women to learn from them, and they learn from us, and we learn what each other likes, and we create a bond, like Locke said, and we grow from that. See, and so this lady, she needs to seek help. Just like he said, she needs help of some kind, because she's severely disturbed. And I think she's got a few screws loose upstairs, to be honest with you, between me and you. And as far as the other girl goes, men, we're not afraid of anything. So that there are men out there who, do need to work on their masculinity a little. And I think the soy culture is a lot to do with that as well, But men need to learn to stand up and be men again, and there's still a lot of men out there. That's the thing. They are ignoring this. There are a lot of men out there, and the real men are not going to put up with them at all. Anyway, you all take care. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and subscribe to Locke the Bounty Hunter, Taylor the Fiend, Detective Warg, and Hit on the Mummy on Peace of Mind. Thank you.